To be a real man, you have to learn how to control your emotions. And it's very important. That's the biggest thing I want to get besides my brand today.
Yo.
What up, what up? Hello, coworkers.
What's up, coworkers?
Welcome back to the only We Outside After Work podcast.
It's another one?
Well, everyone's saying that now because of summer, right? We outside.
Anyway, so copyright 2022.
We can't, though, because the reason why we picked it was because it was
trendy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, I'm your host, Dana.
I'm your favorite. I'm Aaron. What's up, y'all?
What's up? And we are joined by returning guest, Jazz.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Yes, we're doing good.
That's good.
Yeah, you was here last year.
Yep.
In the beginning phases of our podcast, and we didn't have that many reels, and yeah, so now we're doing promo, and we're like, who else to have back than Jazz? The entrepreneur of the year.
That.
Yeah, 6 figures ain't enough.
Yes,
Bomb drop for 6 figures ain't enough.
Yes.
6 figures is not enough.
But hold on, time out. Not just do I want to bomb drop 6 figures ain't enough. I also want to bomb drop Jazz. Jazz is one of those, not just as a guest, but just as a supporter in general. Constantly in the comments, constantly in the reels, constantly looking out for our product. Obviously, we do the same thing for him because this is a family. We don't just talk about support, we live support, and he's one of those people that embodies that. So appreciate you, brother.
Yes.
We need that.
Bro.
We definitely need that from each and every one of y'all. So if y'all want to like, subscribe, all of that.
Yes, sir. Like, subscribe, follow.
June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, along with a whole bunch of other things, but we're going to focus on y'all and y'all mental health. So with you, Jazz, I notice a lot on your story. You do a lot of grounding.
Absolutely.
Which is, if you want to just explain what grounding is and why it's important to you.
Well, in the simplest form, grounding is basically you take your socks off, you go into the ground, and basically you feel the electric pulses of the earth.
Okay.
And it helps like pain relief, anxiety, stress, anger, depression, all of these things that people go to therapy for. You can actually do it by yourself with like nature. And one of the biggest things is we have to get back to being outside and being in nature, being around water. All of these is like natural stress relievers, and that helps your magnetic field, and it just helps manifesting. It helps like everything. It's just the most beautiful thing that I've been doing this year.
You just started?
I just consistently started.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing it inconsistent, but now I'm consistently doing it, and I'm seeing the results.
Where did you get that from?
Just research. Like one of my things, I just love to research, and I just like self-improvement. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be my highest self.
Yeah. I always tell people, especially when it comes to self-improvement, everywhere you go, you always see construction. You never don't see anything getting fixed. You never don't see anything getting improved upon. So we as human beings, we got to be that same way. We always got to constantly have a fix-it mentality.
No, absolutely.
And it's not because something's broken. It's because we always got room for improvement. So I'm a look into grounding. I need some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, it's not just for men's mental health. I think it's important just as people. That's something that I wanted to get into a while ago because I've heard the benefits of it.
Have you done it?
I've never done it, but I don't know people directly besides you who have talked about the benefits of it. Like I've always heard like, oh yeah, it's all these great things, but I've never seen the results and like talked to someone of how it's changed and helped them get through whatever they were going through.
Well, quickly, like for me, I've been like like I did it today. Not the matter of fact, probably an hour ago. But for me, I just see the results. Like my energy, like my manifestations is coming like quicker. You know what I mean?
So do you manifest as you ground?
Yes, absolutely. It's just the most magnificent thing I've ever done.
Are there like certain words you say and then you
your affirmations? I won't say it here.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You know, because it's personal. But I say it to the universe, and it's everything that I've been saying has been coming true. So that's the proof for me.
Okay.
So I just want people to try it, but consistently try it. Don't just like, nothing is just gonna come to you unless you're that powerful of a person. But just consistently try it and trust in yourself, and just go ground with positivity, like be open-minded basically, and just be positive.
Now, you have 2 sons, right?
Yes.
Do you?
Anu and Asa.
Oh, I thought you said a new one. I'm like,
No.
I got
His
a new one
name
too.
his name is Anu. My oldest,
Yep.
his name is Anu.
And Asa.
Yes, and Asa.
Awesome.
Shout out to them.
Do you practice grounding in front of them or with them?
Yes. So my youngest, he don't want no parts. My oldest, he try, but they don't understand it completely yet. But I make them take their socks off and have them run around, and then I tell them, just try to empty your mind and just ask the universe for whatever you want. Just and they try it, but they'll get stronger. The older they get.
So I have a question, because someone asked me this before, because when I speak about God and Jesus or the universe, it's interchangeable to me. Is it interchangeable to you when you say the universe? Like, are you also saying God?
That's a great question.
Or is it just one-sided to you? Like, do you think it's separate, or do you think it's one whole entity?
That's very touchy. I would say, for me, I think it's different. I think that the universe is made by the creator.
Yes.
I don't even want to call it God anymore, because those terms are, like, when you research where that comes from, that's a different thing.
Do you think it's man-made?
Yeah, for the most part.
From a concept perspective.
Yeah, concept. Like, but I just feel like the creator made the universe.
Right. That's how I feel too.
Right. And the universe is just our playground. Like, it's just we're made of the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why when you manifest and you ground, you can literally get everything you desire. But you just have to be on the same frequency,
right,
to receive what you're trying to manifest and desire. And that takes practice, it takes consistency, and it takes discipline.
Yes.
You know
I think
what
the
I mean?
biggest thing is the consistency and the
Yeah.
discipline. Something that I recently read was that the universe is like an echo.
Right.
It's like whatever you're putting out, as far as how you're treating people, things that you're doing to better yourself, that is what comes back to you. And that's the
Right,
people
right.
and the situations that you tend to be around, because that is an inner look of who you are as a person, and it reflects you.
1000%.
And I'm piggyback off the frequency conversation, because Dana, and I always reference Dana talking about this because she's the first person to introduce it to me, like the power of the tongue. And negativity is also a product of the power of the tongue, right?
Absolutely.
And I've been experiencing a little bit of just negativity, right? Just a whole bunch of, I call it a man period. So
That's
Yeah, he
new.
said
Yeah.
it's biannual.
That's hilarious.
like sometimes
Did
you
you
just,
experience that?
let me explain.
Oh.
Let me
Okay,
explain.
yeah, let him explain.
I don't know.
No, I'm
You would
explaining.
probably have to ask my lady or something.
So it's like
I don't think so.
Every 6 months or so, it's just sometimes everything gets on my fucking nerves. Everything, like the smallest thing is a dust on the floor. Why you ain't pick that piece of dust up, right? It's just little shit that just
Okay.
triggers you, and you just get negative and you get snappy, and it's like I can't control it. It's something that I'm a very, very nice person majority of the time, 99% of the time.
Right.
But when that 1% comes, it's just like, yo, please just let me rock.
Okay.
So, do you feel it coming on though, or it's just like you
No, I know when it's
it's
there.
That's a great
coming?
question.
Yeah, I know when
Okay.
it's there. I don't feel
Because
when it's
with
coming on.
us women, we know when our actual period is
Right.
coming on. Like, it's mainly emotional and
I
hormonal.
think that he's holding in a lot of like
Yeah.
stuff instead of just like not holding it in.
Instead of
Like
dealing
that-
with it
right?
head
Instead
on?
of just dealing with it head on. I think that you like holding in too
It's
much.
like bottling it up instead of letting out.
and then he just go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I used to tell myself, because I used to fight a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, me
But
too.
when I would fight, I would be to the point where I didn't stop.
Right.
So it's like you need to learn how to control that.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to try to all right, don't fight now. Just it is what it is. Don't trip. Don't beat nobody up. Even if they could beat you up, don't even worry about it. It is what it is. Just rock out.
Right.
But then it get to that point where it's like, all right, now it's like I'm fucking. You ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Of course.
When Gohan finally get to that point where it's like, nigga, I'm mad.
Yeah, right. It's on.
And now I got to turn up. But it's like, I don't want to do that, especially if it's a woman on the receiving end, not from a violent perspective.
I think that's bottled up energy.
Yeah, that's what
like
it sounds
that's bottled up like anger.
Yeah.
Like you're
kind of
decompress.
just
you gotta ground, bro.
I'm a
brush off
you
your shoulders. Yeah.
Men's mental health.
Absolutely. You gotta go outside and ground.
Yes. Okay.
Look at that breakthrough.
Yeah.
Who needs therapy?
Okay.
BetterHelp.
We got the podcast.
BetterHelp to kiss my ass. How about that?
Yeah, we're not fucking with them. BetterHelp.com. We love them. We do think they're a great sponsorship, and if you do need any type of therapy, they are a great resource. But
therapy is great though.
Yeah,
I'm talking about them specifically.
We're talking about the representatives.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but moving on. So, as y'all know, Chris Brown. That's not what I was gonna say. He is on tour, 11/11 tour. I recently went 2 weeks ago. He was at the Prudential.
Yeah, and they canceled. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
They canceled what?
The meet and greet. Because he got stuck.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I went too.
But yeah, you were there.
Yeah, my lady.
So I've seen him perform. I think it was twice before in concert. It was the Heartbreak on a Full Moon tour, and then the one he did with Lil Baby. So this one, honestly, I feel like was the best performance I've seen thus far, because not only did he perform the 11/11 songs in the beginning, which were kind of short, but he also did a lot of his throwback songs, and then even the intermission, the DJ was playing a lot of his like mixtape stuff.
It was dope.
It was so dope.
Dope.
And I think to me, like, as I don't want to say diehard, but I am Team Breezy. Like, it was so nostalgic, and it went by so fast to me because I was just having a blast the entire time.
Yeah, it was amazing. Chris Brown, he that guy.
He is honestly the best, one of the best entertainers of our
generation.
You know, the only thing I miss about, heartthrob R&B singers is none of the ladies was throwing panties on the stage or nothing like that.
I don't know if you could do that anymore.
My sons was there, so
there were kids there too.
Listen.
But I get what you're saying. But
that's how I know shit real. Like Bobby Brown back in the day, they stood.
Speaking of Bobby Brown, I recently saw a reel. I don't know if y'all saw this, where a little packet of cocaine fell on the stage, and he like danced and spun around and picked it up.
Chris Brown show?
No, Bobby Brown back in the day. And they tried to say it was a piece of his watch, but you could literally see the white baggie that he picked.
That's
first
hilarious.
Off, shout out to Whitney Houston, Jersey's finest.
Yeah, but we do want to just talk about the meet and greet photos that are $1,000 that he normally does with the women, and it's usually crazy. Yeah. It's women for the most part. Like, he'll be picking them up, they'll be like bent over. It'd be a lot of like crazy things going on. So for y'all, right? Let's say for you, Jazz, because your lady's here, and if she wanted to take a picture after the show with Chris Brown,
Don't
right?
self-incriminate.
Like, how would you feel? Like, would that be a deal breaker in the relationship if the picture was a little too salacious?
Yeah, because it's just disrespect. If I felt it was, I think I don't know necessarily a deal breaker. It all would have. It just depends.
Yeah. What if he like picked her up? Chris Brown picked her up.
Yeah, that's too much. That wouldn't even happen though with me. Like your woman's supposed to know who her man is, so that I don't even worry about that. That wouldn't even happen.
Yeah, it's a respect thing, right?
Because that wouldn't happen.
I do feel like when you're in a relationship where you both cherish each other and don't want to disrespect each other, it's certain things that you just don't do. Right.
You wouldn't do that. So
I'm not that opposed. If I know this person is like a diehard Chris Brown fan.
picking your lady up?
Yeah.
Oh nah.
He not going to take her. And honestly,
you don't know that then.
First off, most of these women are literally diehard, throw their panties on the stage type of fans. They probably would go with Chris Brown. So
I don't think so, because I went with someone that I was dating, and he asked me that too. He was like, "Would you do a meet and greet picture if you had the chance?" And I said I would.
Oh, I wasn't talking about do the meet and greet. I was talking about do him. I think women would have sex with Chris Brown if given the opportunity.
I think if you're in a relationship, like we just said,
I don't think they care.
That you have a level of respect. I'm
not going to say 100% all women would.
I'm not saying all women.
Okay.
No, I'm saying like a lot of women that have these celebrity crushes on these people if given the opportunity
Let's
to take
flip
it.
it then.
And I'm not going to be
Let's
opposed
flip
to that
it.
as long as I get my op.
Let's say for y'all, like whoever is your celebrity
If
crush.
Regina Hall decides that she wants to be goofy on me, I'm going to let her be goofy on me.
what does that mean, be goofy?
Because, she's silly. So
No, but what if she
hey,
wanted to be like, oh yeah, come to
What's
my
up?
trailer afterwards?
Then we in the trailer.
Nah.
See? That's
He-
fucking
it's
crazy.
not happening.
I'm different.
And my lady's here,
No
but
respect.
even if she wasn't here,
he would
that's
say the
not
same
Bro,
thing.
what are you
about
talking
being
about,
honest.
man?
Yeah,
I'm not saying
that's
he's not.
happening. Yeah,
That's my
that's not
perspective.
Yeah. So
If
I
Kelly
don't even
Rowland,
have a lady crush. Like,
if Kelly
Like
Rowland
a-
says she want
He
her
had a
kisses
couple.
down low, guess what I'm
yo,
gonna do?
you too much. Yo.
What? No.
yo,
He's singing the
listen.
lyrics. Like,
I'm just saying, hey
That's-
Kelly,
honestly-
Kelly, you know what it is.
oh my.
I had a crush on Kelly Rowland since I was like 10.
I'm gonna say no
nigga. She can
comment
get whatever.
because
Wow.
you got a
Time
situation
out.
and
You've been a Chris Brown fan since.
it don't matter. Like
So-
I'm not if honestly and truly I took a picture with him and he was like, oh, you want to hang out with us after the show? I'm not going.
You sure
Even if
about
it's not
that?
sexual.
Dead ass because
You
I know.
sure about that?
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yes, Marv, I'm sure. But because like they're not going to just hang out with you.
Why not?
Like
You're a very awesome
you
person.
know what is going
They come
on.
with it. Like,
Yeah,
well, possibly
like an
come with it.
entertainer, celebrity. They got women. Like they're not like, oh yeah, just come have drinks with us, and it's gonna lead to more.
It doesn't have to. I think a lot of people, sometimes I might prefer to hang
I
out
think
with
if you
somebody.
put yourself in those situations where it could lead to more, and there's alcohol involved, and that does alter your state as far as
No,
being like too
absolutely.
lit, and you're like, oh shit, just happened. No,
Be in control of your alcohol intake. And also,
I
you
agree
I'm
with
just
her
not
more,
going.
Nah, I get you.
but it's all about like how somebody handle themselves. But you don't put what I'm getting from her is like, no, I'm not going to even put myself in that situation because more than likely this is what's going to lead to it.
So the worst parts of me is going to put myself in that position on purpose. The best
because
parts
you're
of me.
hoping it at least.
Of course, the worst parts, yes. The best part of me is I can hang around with somebody that I'm attracted to and not put myself in a position where I can either be taken advantage of or they not going to appreciate my company. Sometimes they like good company. You might be the person that he might be like, yo, that Dana girl, I want to marry her. Because when I finally hung out with her, she wasn't all about getting on top of me and doing all this kind of stuff.
No, it's a
So,
possibility.
That is true.
It's a possibility.
Yeah,
Let me know.
because that energy may make them think like,
Right.
oh
No,
yeah, this
yeah.
person is
And
different.
he's a
They don't
Libra
just want
rising
me.
and a Sagittarius crossing like you be liking.
Taurus.
I don't know what none of that stuff.
Okay.
I was just
Anyway, let's moving on.
See, she was going to go with it.
Moving on. So, Aaron, you put this on the outline.
Speaking
and
of
if you
Taurus.
if you wanna just give us.
So
some
it was a
detail.
young girl. She turned 16 years old, and her parents decided they were gonna buy her a vehicle for her birthday. I thought that was a very sweet gesture. It just so happened that in today's society they want Teslas, they want Benzes, they want all these nice cars. They bought her a '96 Buick, and it was looking a little crazy. If that was your child, and they said, "I don't want that vehicle," how are you responding? Are you responding because they're ungrateful? Are you gonna change the vehicle and get them something that they want?
I'm definitely not changing the vehicle. That's just a no-brainer. It's just an ungrateful situation, and they could catch the bus or ride with their
Bird.
friends,
I agree.
or Uber. Like,
Yeah.
I'll keep the car until my younger son want it.
But why would you do that?
Why would I?
Why would you buy that car knowing that?
Well, you're not
Stigma.
supposed to buy like a brand new vehicle for a
beginner
beginner
driver.
driver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, because it's a possibility that they're going to crash.
So it's a possibility you're gonna crash the Beta.
And it's cheaper. It's
I get that.
and in some cases it's safer because that car is more
Made of actual metal and shit.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, I would just catch an Uber.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be considerate because we know the way the kids operate nowadays. Even if it comes to uniforms in school, right? If they don't have nice sneakers, them other kids clowning them. If they walk into school, kids clowning them. If their haircut look crazy, kids clowning them.
Do you
But
think
some of
that
that is
builds that
needed.
build? I was gonna say,
It's
does that build
needed.
character?
Yeah, but it's one thing.
But
if
it's different
needed,
nowadays though, because
But these kids is killing
I
themselves.
feel like the level of bullying nowadays is crazy. Because I had a friend who was a teacher, And he was telling me now what they'll do is kids will record someone getting like made fun of or bullied, and they'll airdrop it to everyone in the class.
Yeah.
Like, and now you have that memory, which is going to be shared or whatever. Like, this shit is just more intense now than it was.
I think you still, like, you know, you just go with the times, but you have to talk to your children.
I agree. I think that's the part that
instill
they
confidence in them, because you have to prepare them for whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, like, I talk to my sons. Like, my oldest son was dealing with a bully, and I got straight to him, hey, look, we ain't doing that. You are this type of person. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're handsome, you're strong, beautiful. Bro, go out into your classroom. If he bother you, this is what you do, X, Y, and Z. If it don't work, come back. He did it, it worked.
And
Okay.
Jazz talked about affirmations earlier. Giving your kids affirmations is super duper important. Like, when I get the chance to see Nori before she goes off to school, I always encourage her that she's smart, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she can do anything, and I make her repeat it.
That's dope.
And even with Jaden, I try to always speak to him through opportunity, like we talked about earlier, and I send him like long text messages. Like, it might come off like I'm bashing you sometimes, or I might not ever think that you're doing an amazing job, but this is all positive affirmations that I'm giving you, because these kids need that.
Yeah.
Because these bullies out here, and they're mean as fuck.
Yeah, I actually commend both of you for doing
Black
that
dads.
with your sons. So
Absolutely.
let's get a bomb drop for y'all.
Post Father's Day.
Yeah, because I've seen the opposite, where I know someone who she has her father in her life, but this was kind of a recent thing when she became like 18 or 16 to 17. Like, her dad became more involved, but growing up, she really didn't have her parents.
Right.
So now we're seeing the result of that, which she does put on a front of like, she is smart, she's confident, but when it comes to dating and boys, and now she's 18, it's like she's dating someone who's not the best as far as they are in a gang, and she's in the middle of going to college in August. Now she's second guessing going to college because this guy, like, he's buying her things now and like showing her that level of, which I guess is love for her now. But she didn't have those affirmations in those younger years, and her parents or even a father figure to really show her what, you know, the correct way to be loved is.
Right.
So, yeah, like, seeing that extreme and then hearing how y'all are treating your sons, I think is very commendable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, we got to get back into Jazz. Again, he is a reoccurring guest. So one thing we talked about when you came here last time was 6 figures ain't enough. And we just want to recap. Like, how's it been going?
How's it been?
It's been
how's the business?
Busy. It's been a blessing too. It's starting to, you know, basically I'm getting more opportunities to showcase my brand. Artists are wearing it. Tribe Mark from New Jersey.
League Fits just followed
League
you.
Fits
I wanted to ask you about that. How did that happen? So you do have, it was one of the WNBA players.
Brittany Sykes.
Okay.
Brittany Sykes.
Yeah, she was wearing your 6 figures ain't enough, and it was a bunch of the players on the front of the shirt.
Right.
She ended up being posted on League Fits, and then they ended up following you. So did that help as far as the traction and, like,
absolutely.
you know,
like,
the sales?
You know, they got 1 million followers. Some of the biggest NBA and WNBA stars are on that platform. So it was a tremendous opportunity to have showcase my clothes on there. I still can't believe it, honestly. Like,
how do you get the connections with the?
That one just
people?
fell through, and that's what I was trying to convey to all my followers who follow me, and just people in general who I talk to. Like, these are some of the things I'm manifesting, and it's proof. I don't even have to like over explain it. Like, that came to me from a connection, but the connection didn't tell me that. They told me they was just going to take pictures, but then 3 hours later it's on League Fit. I was like, whoa, like,
elevated.
this is crazy. So shout out to that person. I appreciate her. She's amazing photographer as well. But it's the brand is doing well. The sales, like, I'm selling out. Pressure from New York is wearing the clothes. It's a bunch of artists wearing it. Bunch of athletes supporting. So I appreciate that.
So one thing that I usually see on your story is you're always outside, like literally, like you're at different events. You're in the city. I just saw you was at a game yesterday.
Yeah, well, I was in Newark 2 days ago, but I was like 3 days ago. I was in Dykeman.
Okay.
In the Bronx.
Okay, so you're traveling,
so cool.
and I'm guessing you have like your merchandise on you, and
yeah,
you're just
it's in
are
the
you
car.
literally just going up to people and like talking about your brand? Like how is that?
It's planned, and some of it is like just spontaneous or whatever, like on the go. As an entrepreneur, you can't be fearful. You know what I mean? Like you have to like engage with people,
right? Because who else is gonna talk about your brand but you?
Right. So, and that's something that I had to learn. I'm more of an introvert naturally, but now, like, having a brand as a businessman, I have to speak. Right. You know what I mean? It's been wonderful. Like I'm really grateful. You know what I mean? Like it could be worse, it could be better, but I'm grateful in this moment. I'm learning a lot. Man, Dave East just liked the post yesterday with the superstar T-shirt with the women on it, WNBA players. So the rappers are tapping in.
Yeah.
The
people are always watching. Like that's the thing I love about social media is the more content that you're pushing out, you truly never know who's watching. And even if they don't, or they may engage sometimes, they'll like or they'll share. But that alone goes a long way. And that's something we've always been pushing since the beginning is like the sharing, the networking.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, you never know like where and whose eyes are going to come across it.
And you're right, because it's so many people that, like Natasha Cloud, she plays in the WNBA. And she's the leading factor of why I even created that shirt. So when I actually meet her, I want to express to her like, you were the driving force for this T-shirt, like along with Brittany Sykes, but it was more Natasha Cloud, to be honest, because I like her style of play, and she's a rebel, like she's for like Palestine and just equal rights and you know what I mean, like that's, I feel her presence and she don't even understand like I'm that same way. You know what I mean, like so I'm thankful that she uses her platform. So she, Natasha, you're not, you don't go unnoticed.
Yeah, like, shout out to Natasha.
Shout out to the WNBA. Really big on being outspoken.
Shout out to the
and just seeing Jazz work with a bunch of different WNBA stars and at the games, being a support system.
Right.
And I can tell that he's been in basketball, so this is not nothing new.
Right.
This ain't just something that's a fly by night because it's trendy right now. It's good to have people that's real supporters on both ends, like we talked about at the beginning of the show. But one thing I'm interested in is the business of being in business, right? It's shitty out here. Everything is expensive. Everything is inflated. Whether it's cost of labor, whether it's cost of material. How has that impacted you in terms of just trying to stay mentally focused on the task at hand is just getting your product out?
You have to invest in yourself. I pride myself on just quality first and foremost. I would never short term myself or whatever. Like I'm gonna give, like the stuff that I wear, I'm gonna make sure if I'm gonna sell that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not gonna put out anything that's.
So you're not gonna sell a $2 T-shirt for $500?
Right,
like that's not happening.
Not trying to make fun of Big Baller Brand.
Yo, come on.
But when it was, falling apart, it comes off like, listen, I would love to support you, but I can't. I got the Kanye boots, the new ones that just came out.
How are they? I heard good reviews.
It's comfortable, but it gives you that sense of relief where it's like, okay, I paid $20 for these, and I don't feel like it's shitty material. Okay. I feel like he put work into this, and he did us a service by taking the price down.
Right.
Because he could have easily charged somebody $200, $300 for this, and they would have bought it. Because people are like that. People are sheep.
Yeah.
But I do want to highlight Jazz's quality, because obviously we got his hoodie right here, and it was a nice pretty penny. I ain't gonna lie. I bought 2.
Yeah,
So,
you said it's thick though, right? Like it's very thick quality.
So
keeps you warm.
The craziest part about it was because it was around the winter time when I bought it, and I never really had like a thick real hoodie. Like this shit was like, sorry, I keep calling it
It's all
bullshit,
good, it's all
but
good.
it felt so snug. It felt so warm. I'm like, I really like this. I'm like, I felt like my money was worth it.
I appreciate that.
And the stitching is all good. The material is thick. It's comfortable. The drawstrings don't make you feel like you're snuffed in there. I don't look like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah.
Like, and it's good to get actual reviews on your stuff and people actually liking it. Like, I got multiple pictures of it. Every time I wear the hoodie, I try to tag Jazz because I appreciate the
it's
quality.
A share, support,
And not even that. It's like, no, I really
but
appreciate
you
the
genuinely
material.
like, you like
Thank you,
the
bro.
the
I appreciate that.
And that's where word of mouth really gets going, right? Where Jazz don't have to do the job because Jazz did the job already. So it's my job as somebody who supports him to say, yo, y'all need to go get a shirt, a hoodie, a pair of socks, a headband, a wristlet. I don't care. Support the man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
that's
that,
the thing with brands is once you get those influences where you like set those nuggets and like actually showing that, okay, this is quality, it's worth the money.
Yeah.
Like Aaron said, you've already done the work.
Right.
Now social media and the influencers or even people, regular customers, they're pushing your brand. For example, I buy a lot of Fashion Nova, and I know sometimes they may have a bad rep, but they have good quality stuff when you can find it. Like it's not as cheap as Shein. I've never purchased anything from Shein.
That's a good 1.5 day wear.
Yeah, I heard that shit crumbles in the washing machine. So yeah, like Fashion Nova, for example, the way they've been able to become a multi-million-dollar brand is they have Fashion Nova influencers or like Fashion Nova babes. Like they use certain hashtags because they know when a customer that's interested in their clothing clicks that hashtag, that's all you see is all their clothes and regular people wearing it, and it's not just like the Instagram models or like the models on their page. You can see like how stuff fits.
It's very important. That's one of the things about like having a clothing business. It's not just about like regular pictures. People want to see people wear it. Right. They want to see the style of how they wear it, how it looks, the fabric, like all of these things that matter. So, like that's one of the things that I've learned too. Like you said, just wearing the clothes, like word of mouth. Like I could put the clothes on all day, but when people see me, they're like, "Oh, of course you're gonna wear it.
Fit, right? It's gonna fit you nice because your clothing."
But we want to see it on a Davies or Brittany Sykes or just a regular person walking around. Like so, I'm a lot of the things now. How I market my brand is I give away a lot of clothes. Like I don't even like sell as much as because my brand is new. Like I'm learning from Pharrell and all of these other people who own brands. Like they give away half of their product.
Really?
Like
I didn't know that.
So but it works in a sense because people don't believe in the product if they don't see it.
Right.
If they see it on you, it's not believable.
Right. It's like, why would they buy $100 to $200 sweatshirt if they've never seen anyone else wear it? It's like, is it worth this?
Right.
But now you got
unless
Aaron.
It just piques their interest. Like if they, because some people just got an eye for fashion. Like so they're ahead of the game.
Most people aren't like that.
Right. Absolutely. So most people want to see it on other people, mainly people of influence. So what I've learned through marketing is just like, okay, I can't worry about sales right now. It's not always about money. It's about, because I started this not even for money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I started this to show people like 6 figures ain't enough. Be motivated to make millions because it's not enough. Like you said, inflation. Everything is high, like groceries, you name it. You know what I mean? Gas.
They said rubbing alcohol $4.
Yo, you shout out.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so you know, the whole thing with clothes is just like now I'm learning like okay, like people believe in my product now because they see it. You know what I mean? Like when you touch it, when it get on you, oh, this is happy, this is good quality. You wash it. I've got reviews. People, yo, it didn't shrink. I was shocked. I thought you was gonna sell me something that, and I'm like, no, like, you know, all clothes is gonna shrink. Don't get me wrong. If it's cotton, it's gonna shrink.
Right.
It's just natural. Nobody can get away from that. But, you know, I just want to produce something that I would wear, and I like high quality products. Personally.
Yeah. So we want to get into the man behind the business. So more about Jazz and your story. So you were stabbed in college.
Right.
I don't know if you want to get into that story and
Yeah.
Yeah, just like what happened, and then from there, now you're owning a business and thriving. So can you walk us through that process and like mentally how you were feeling and like what helped get you through that?
The universe is powerful, man. I would just say, obviously, the creator got me through that, along with just myself and the doctors that did the surgery, and a few of my close friends. One of my friends, BJ from Atlanta, he's actually from Bankhead. That's the hood in Atlanta, too. But he drove me to the hospital while I was bleeding to death, basically, going in and out of consciousness.
Where did you get stabbed?
I got stabbed in my jugular vein.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's a major artery.
yeah.
Damn.
So most people don't make it. Like,
Yeah.
I think I did the research, like 0.3% of people who get stabbed in a jugular stay alive. The other 99%, like, of people die. So whether people believe it or not, you know, you're looking at a miracle, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful, you know what I mean, to be here to, you know, for my kids, for my family, for my mom, my lady, and just all my friends and stuff. But long story short, I was in college. I was at a school party. I was a very popular basketball player.
What school you went to?
I went to Southern Poly, which is now Kennesaw.
Okay.
Kennesaw.
In Georgia?
Yeah. Georgia Player of the Year, did well, was an amazing basketball player. So I had a lot of attention. A lot of women.
A lot of haters?
Yeah, a lot of haters. You know how it goes. It's just, you know, it's normal basically when you're doing the right things. Long story short, we lead a party. We go to Waffle House, which was like down the street from the college. Everybody used to meet up there and, you know, just kick it, eat and laugh and stuff like that. As I'm walking in the Waffle House, I hear my name, and I'm like, all my friends is with me. Who's in here calling my name? The person calling my name, I've never met him in my life, but he was calling my full name. So that caught my attention. I'm like, why are you calling my name? And then he's calling my name like in an aggressive manner. And, you know, I'm a man, like, you know, don't call me like that. And yeah, who is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the problem?
Right.
So, long story short, we walk over there. A young lady start talking, and I'm like, yo, you know, I'm trying to talk to you because you called me. Can you control your woman or whatever like that? She's still going off at the mouth. One thing led to another. We got into a physical altercation. Next thing I know, I'm on top of him, punching him. And then my boy is yelling out, yo, he got a knife. As I'm trying to get up off of him, that's when he stabbed. Like,
oh my God.
Like I pushed up off of him, and when I kind of should have stayed on him close because it wouldn't have hit my jugular. As I pushed up off of him to get up, it just went through my neck like that.
Oh my God.
So I quickly, like, I should have never pulled it out.
Yeah.
But you know, you
don't know.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's just my adrenaline is pumping crazy. I just pulled it out, and just like it just like a movie, like a horror movie. It just like started pouring out all over my outfit. And I was fresh that day too. Honestly,
I wasn't gonna say
super
nothing.
fresh.
The way you said it, like my outfit got.
Yeah, I was super fresh.
That's not funny.
Yeah, but you know, that's crazy. That's just my sense of humor. I was fresh too. But long story short, it's all over my outfit. And then my friends is like, yo, come on, we gotta leave because the Waffle House was calling the cops.
Did they realize like how bad it was, your friends, in that moment?
Honestly, I don't even think they realized how bad it was. Like, I never really asked them, like, honestly.
Because Did they instantly rush you to the hospital, or was kind of like?
Did anybody put pressure on your neck?
Right.
No.
So no.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they understood because we always drinking.
Yeah.
Like it was just like it just happened. It was like very quick. Long story short, I get in the car, and I'm like,
so you're still walking?
Yeah, I'm walking.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking. I'm angry. Like,
oh my God.
Like I like fighting when I was little too, so I know like where you coming from with that. And I'm literally, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, because the adrenaline is
right,
still.
I don't feel anything. Okay. Like I'm still barking off at the mouth at them, still trying to fight. They like grabbing me, like, yo, you bleeding. Da, 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 da. So long story short, I get in the car, and I'm just like, now as I settle.
That delirium start creeping in.
Now it's just like, so he driving. He like, yo, I gotta take you to the hospital. I just daze out.
Oh my God.
So he yelling, Jazz, Jazz, Jazz. Yeah. I'm still holding my neck. It's blood all over his car in the back of the seat. He driving, he hauling ass up the hill, and I see cops. Like, it's crazy. We laugh about this today. I see cops hauling ass. I'm like, B, slow down, BJ. Like, it's cops, they're gonna pull us over. He like, you worrying about the cops, you bleeding to death. So, like, all through this, I still had my sense of humor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which was crazy through this traumatic experience. But like I said, we going to the hospital. I'm going in and out of consciousness. And I finally get to the hospital. The doctor rushed me in. They trying to call my mother. I'm like, nah, don't call my mother. Like, I'm trying to handle this by myself. Yeah. Because I already knew how my mother would feel and the things after that. But shout out to the hospital, the doctors. I was out of the hospital in 3 days. They called me Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's what the movie called me. Yeah, he was like, yo, man, like this, I've never seen nothing like this. Like you made it. Like you were supposed to not be here. So it was a very traumatic thing. It still bothers me to this day, honestly. I just was talking to a college teammate from Memphis, and I was telling him, like, I still haven't fully let that go. But, I'm still here. I'm still being positive. And you're doing a lot of inner work, too, right. Still. So that's amazing.
And you call your business 6 figures ain't enough. And it's not just financial.
Right.
Because you experience life. Right. And your business is a reflection of way more than just money. It's a reflection of overcoming. And, look where I've been through. Right, motivation. Look what I've overcome. To keep going. Right, 6 figures ain't gonna make me do anything further than that. I've lived. Right. So shout out to you. Shout out to life, brother.
I appreciate that.
Because like, I don't know if you know the Paul Pierce story either.
Yeah, I do.
But it's like anything can happen when you're in a club or you're in a setting like that and somebody hating or somebody jealous or somebody get the wrong impression or you the wrong person. Anything can happen to anybody. So
and sorry to cut you off. It was over a female that I didn't like. Like it was.
So he didn't even y'all didn't even talk. He just came and was like.
It wasn't even his female. Like this is the backstory of it. I'm just like I said that to say like. Young men, please pay attention to what you're doing out here because a lot of these deaths
are a result of a woman.
Be result
and it's no knock on a woman.
I was about to say.
But it's serious because it happened to me, and I'm like,
okay, but listen,
this was over
what if
a woman.
Also, the fragile male ego.
It is, but that's
because you just said it wasn't even.
A woman knows.
I think we tapped into something.
A woman knows when a male has these fragile parts with them. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all have that intuitive knowledge. Like, I'm not blaming women. I'm saying that part of it was because of a woman, and it was because of a male's ego and
overthinking and thinking just, something is what it wasn't.
And a woman's nonchalance.
Right.
I don't even think it's the nonchalance, but it's also the communication too. Because if you're telling someone who clearly is very infatuated with you and has feelings for you that maybe you don't want them, or even if it's like you're thinking you're playing games or whatever, but you're playing with their feelings,
right? And
now other people are involved who shouldn't have been involved, and it's a whole cycle of toxicity where it could have been avoided from the beginning, if you were upfront and honest with how you're feeling. thing, and even sometimes that's
but
not enough.
even in my case, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And it still confuses me to this day. Like, bro, what was going on in your head?
So what was the issue? He thought you were messing with his girl.
So it's just a toxic. It's just childish
Toxic,
shit. Like,
right.
it's just like shit that honestly I'm above. Like, I don't even roll that way. Like, that's not even my style of just like how I deal with women, or like it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
I started thinking to myself,
but it was more. It was hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was hate. Honestly.
Listen, two of the most famous wars of all time was based on a woman. World War One, the Trojan War. It's always a woman.
I think it's a male's ego a lot of the times.
I think it's both.
Could be both.
No, I think it's women.
I think it's both.
I think a lot of what men do is centered around appeal to women or lack thereof. But I think that's why people act on that.
But now that I'm a real grown man, men don't even handle it. They don't need real men. That was some boy shit.
Yeah.
Like
that's another thing.
That was some boy shit.
It's the level of maturity.
Right.
Right? Because
right.
I do feel like if you haven't actually done that work within yourself, like any little thing could trigger you.
Right.
And you take it to the next level when it didn't even have to be all of that.
What I've learned, men, to be a real man, you have to learn how to control your emotions. And it's very important. That's the biggest thing I want to get. Besides my brand today, men have to control their emotions.
But that's why I be trying to bottle mine up.
That's gonna be a real. I like that.
But that's not controlling
that's not healthy
them.
either.
That's bottling it up.
Yeah.
You got to be able
explode and have
express it, but be in control.
Male period.
and it take a lot of work, especially if you're not raised with men. See, most of
that's another
black
story.
men are raised with just mostly women.
Yeah, black women.
So they don't understand even how to be a man until they get older, and then they have to be a man.
They have to figure it out for themselves a lot of the times.
Yeah,
and
so
that's not always the healthiest
So it's something
way.
that it takes work, but it's very important. It's very important.
Well, one of the things that you do is you're a very involved, active father in your children's life, being that man for them to, mirror off of, right? I know your son, your oldest son, if I'm not mistaken, just graduated from kindergarten.
Yes.
Anu, right?
Yep.
Shout out to him. And aside the second one,
Asa.
I'm sorry. Don't mind me.
The Healer. That's what his name is.
Bad with names. Don't mind.
That's all good.
I just came from a kindergarten graduation. Golly.
Shout out to your baby, man.
Shout out to Ava, my niece. I'm still gonna talk shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Because why they have a 7-hour ceremony? It's like a funeral, a black funeral.
I haven't
black
been to a kindergarten graduation. I recently went to a high school one down in Manchester 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was quick. And it was at 6 o'clock at night.
Was it a lot of black people there?
It was a white majority.
Because
white school.
black people at graduation.
They drag
black people
it out,
don't follow
man.
no directions.
They drag it out.
Yeah, and they had the horns. You knew who was black with the horns.
And then you only get but so many tickets to a graduation.
Right.
Oh, they were
That's
it was
another
just for
thing that I
everybody.
don't understand.
Yeah,
like,
everyone could go for the one that I went to.
Yeah,
giving us only 4 tickets. Like
shit, black people, they gonna turn them tickets into 12 tickets.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
But as a dad of young children, I know we talked about affirmations and whatnot earlier. How different do you want your children's life to be compared to yours as you came up? I know we talked about like with the car and different things like that, how we bringing everything full circle. But dive into it a little bit. How different you want your children to live compared to your child?
I definitely don't want my sons to experience homelessness. Like I said, I was homeless as a child for a period of time. I think like a year and a half or so, and then my mom got us out of that situation. So. Like my sons are privileged. They're very intelligent. I keep a roof over their head. Vehicles and take them on trips every year for their birthday. Majority of the years, I try to do my best. You know what I mean? I try to do what I would have wanted for myself, and I try to do what my mom did for me. She did her best. She always took us like down south every summer. So now I take that and then increase it to every year we're gonna go to another country. And it's working. My kids are seeing new people, learning new languages, experiencing great things. So just traveling, they meeting people, different race of people, cultures, and ethnicity. So I think I'm doing a good job. I know I could do better. Sometimes when I was telling you about like being just controlling your emotions as a man, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? And my son checked me, so I know it's working. You feel what I'm saying? He said, "Dad, you're not doing what you said." And I said, "Whoa."
Yeah, my son.
Oh, they pay attention.
My son,
yeah.
the memory. I don't know if it's just these memories of these kids.
They have the best memories ever.
And I've learned from my son that I can't play with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can't be like, oh yeah, we'll go to Disney.
They remember that. They're like, so when we going?
And it's crazy because
you gotta keep that word.
I poke fun with my grandmother because I don't think she did it on purpose, but she used to always say, I want to take my grandkids to Disney World. So it's like, damn, she never took me to Disney World like
you
that.
remember that though.
But it's like I never penalized her for it. But imagine if I did, right? Imagine like as a parent when you get that child that's constantly like, hey, you said you was gonna do this and you ain't gonna do it. That's why I told that story about the train set that one time, because it's like, yo, that shit sits on me.
It sits with you.
And it's like, now I don't trust your word.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because what you told me didn't come to fruition.
Right.
Because it translates with different things. It's like, okay, well, you said you're going to take me here. We didn't. Now, if you said you're going to teach me something or other things that come up, you don't, it's like, it's not going to happen. But Jazz, I do want to just circle back to what you said about the privilege thing. And I know a lot of the times when you hear that kids are privileged, there's a negative connotation. And I don't think it should be a negative connotation, because to me, privilege can be seen as how your parents raised you and you want them to have a better life than that.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you want your kids to experience better so they can be better versions of you. So, as far as being privileged, do you think that's a bad thing?
No, I think it's more of a positive thing. For speaking about my sons, like my youngest will be 4 next week. Okay. I think the end of the week on the June 30th. My sons, they're privileged in a good way.
And you also talk to them.
They are ungrateful sometimes, though. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, but you talk to them, right?
But I do talk to them. I do talk to them.
So that's the thing I think is important.
And it's just they're young kids. You just gotta and keep instilling that word into them, and they'll get it. Like, cause I see the growth. I see the growth.
Now, the crazy thing about privilege is the flip side of privilege is struggle, right? Me and my son's mom, we used to always have like little back and forth because she didn't really come from struggle.
Right.
So,
that's,
like something like oodles and noodles.
Oh man.
Right. Sometimes I want my son to be able to eat oodles and noodles, I get that it's not the best.
Yeah, I'm
but
definitely not eating it. But
I want you to eat Chef Boyardee. I want you to understand what survival looks like. Do you try to preach that? Is that something that you try to avoid?
I do. Although I don't want them to eat that type of food, I tell them like my experience. I show them, like, I'll drive in the car with them and I'll go around like homeless people. I'll explain. Anu, you see him? You see he's living outside. You live in a house. You know what I mean? Be grateful. You know what I mean? These people are doing drugs. Do you want to be like this? That's the leading cause from him drinking alcohol. So they call it poison. So they understand struggle, but I don't want them to go through it to understand it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like a life lesson.
Right, it is.
So it's like a full circle thing where you're breaking down, like, well, you started drinking alcohol and abusing it, and now you can't hold a job, and now you lost your family, and now you're on the street because you can't keep up with anything. So I think it's important for them to see that, but also break it down to explain it.
And they understand. Like,
kids are smart.
They understand. They on Father's Day, I was talking to them, and they understood everything that I was saying, but I was talking to them like as if they were adults, and they kept up.
I think you should do that.
They kept up.
Like,
I was
to sit and talk to little kids and like baby talk constantly, or think they're not as smart as they actually are. I think it's a deterrent.
It is.
Because I think like when they start to really go out in the world, and even if they go to school, like kindergarten and elementary school, like they start to build relationships, and now they're talking to like their peers,
Right.
and it may not be as advanced as like, you know, talking to your parents or someone older, but they're starting to build those relationships and how to
Go through relationship.
Yeah.
there's a word for it.
Probably.
Yeah, but nonetheless, maneuver.
There we go.
Thank you. Yes.
Aaron, the eye of the sky. I got you.
You're
I got you.
usually good
Maneuver.
with that.
I was struggling.
You wasn't
with
paying
that.
attention.
I was
to
paying
me.
attention.
Okay, yeah.
But you finished. I'm sorry.
Well, that was my whole point, is that I think it's important to talk to small children
It is.
as
It
adults
is. It
so
is.
they can understand
and maneuver.
their
through it.
relationships. And
But it reminded me of something when I had to like parent teacher, all that stuff. I never had that when I was a kid. Like, not that my mother didn't want to do it, but it was just something that we didn't really care about. But Jaden's mom, she's big on just always there, always at parent teacher
Always
conferences.
supporting the
But
son.
the teachers, what they did is they always speak so highly of them.
That's good. That's great.
It's like they don't speak highly of every kid. And it's one thing if it's one teacher, but when it's every teacher, the principal, the janitors, it's like your child is doing something right?
Right.
And that doesn't come simply from your child.
Right.
It comes from your parents. It comes from your grandparents. It comes from your uncles, your siblings. So it's a microcosm of that environment.
Right.
So I can already tell that y'all environment, shout out to you and your lady because she is here,
Appreciate that.
y'all environment is a wonderful one for your children. And not only are you making them better human beings for themselves, but they're making betters around them.
Right.
And I'll never forget because Jaden had a classmate that was new one time. And the kid came in the classroom, he ain't had no friends. You know, everyone's making fun of him. And Jaden just stepped in and just made a friend. And then all of a sudden, everybody else wanted to play with him. And then from there on, Jaden became just like this beacon of everyone loves Jaden kind of thing,
dope.
right?
shout out to Jaden.
And it's like, we need kids like that.
Yeah.
'Cause that way, we avoid the bullies, the people that's going to
Right.
airdrop.
But
making
it
fun of
starts
them.
at home, right?
Right.
Like y'all are
He's seen
cultivating.
that though. He's seen
these
how to
environments.
maneuver and make
Yeah,
that
by
what it
bottling
was.
up his emotions now.
Nah.
Don't teach him the male periods.
He's me, so
He has them already.
sometimes.
Oh.
What? No.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
hereditary.
he be having that. He definitely be having that.
It's probably-
He be having
it's
that.
probably
my son-
hereditary.
My son is emotional too.
Well, it's just like, sometimes, let me turn off. Just let me be, leave me be. I need my minute. I need my moment. It's like walking away.
Do you voice that?
With him?
No, like when you're going through.
I did it recently, yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was helpful because when you recognize it, you just instantly snappy. And then I'm at work. I'm like, everything is like, oh, why she go to the bathroom right now? Like, it's like, I'm
Not that
nitpicking.
manager.
I'm that manager when
Okay.
I'm annoyed. So it's like I'm taking it out on people, and it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
necessary.
Right.
It comes off like a poor work environment, and I'm not that type of facilitator. So I have to ground myself. I have to recognize it myself, and that way I can control that around other people.
Nah,
Yes.
you'll get it. You'll definitely get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we all are working
Just
process.
gotta practice. That's it.
Yeah. love
Take
that.
my socks off. I gotta get a manicure, pedicure for.
If it's just you out, nobody's looking
I
at your
don't even
toes.
get that honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
As long as they're not like
white
claws.
toes.
yeah, my joints.
We're not gonna talk about white toes, but we're at the end. So, Jazz, I don't know if we were doing this back when you were on, but the happy hour moment. So this is the time where we reflect on
Okay.
things that we are proud of that happened, or
Okay.
we are waiting for something great to come to fruition. So, what is your happy hour moment?
Just being grateful of just my experience. Like I said, like I'm technically not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just I look at life different than most people because of my experiences. So just every day, every hour is just like a blessing for me, especially with two sons. Like they just make life for me like different. Like I just do things different. Like I try to just make sure I'm on point. So
Because they're watching.
right, and I just want to be there for them as long as I can. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my happy hour.
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
So my happy hour moment is my organization had our signature gala last night, and it was a moment to honor and recognize women in the community within education,
Right,
economic empowerment, and other things that they are helping the community. And then we gave out scholarships to Black girls who are graduating high school. One of the recipients of the scholarships, she ended up saying how she got accepted into 26 colleges.
Oh,
And I thought that was amazing because I'm
is.
like, damn, because it made me think of when I was going to college and I had like top 2 and that was it. Like,
Right.
I didn't really have like those ambitions to seek other colleges because I'm like, I only want to go to these 2. But
Right.
why are we boxing ourselves
Yeah, you
in
shouldn't,
instead
bro.
of
You shouldn't.
yeah? So the fact that she did that at a young age, I'm like, this is amazing, and we need more of this kind of thought process that
Right.
we can do more than just the bare minimum.
Right.
So, and then I got one more happy hour moment. So my little cousin is graduating high school on Wednesday. So my cousin flew in from Texas this morning. So he's at my apartment with Honey, my dog. And then his mom, she flies in at 12 a.m. tomorrow. So she'll be here super early. And it's just going to be like a family moment and our time to reconnect with each other because they're staying with me for the
Okay.
week. I'm going to take them to the beach, the pool. We're going to just have a great time together.
Give them
So-
some Italian hot dogs, some Jersey stuff. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they're from New York,
Oh, okay.
but they moved out
I'm about to
west.
say, Texas.
Yeah. So I'm excited to just spend that
Yeah, that's
time with
dope.
them that
That's
we
dope.
don't normally get. So
Yeah, and for me, my happy hour moment is I want to give a shout out to Marvin. I know he back there. He don't be knowing that we gonna shout him out and stuff like that. But when I walked in, the first thing he recognizes like, "Yo, how are you doing?" Right? It's a small gesture that most people say, but the way he said it was different because he referenced the last show that me and Dana had, and our energies was just a little different. And you can tell that he pays attention. You can tell that he cares. And when you having a funk like I was in, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need somebody that's going to put you in that perspective. Like, yo, are you paying attention to yourself?
Right.
Are you aware that your energy is off? So big shout out to Marvin for that.
shout out to Marv.
That's a super
dope.
necessary thing.
Yeah.
So him and I, we just got to talking to the point where it's like, yo, my energy just shifted because I've been just not there. Like,
Right. He
for
brought
real.
you on his frequency.
He brought me on this frequency, so
Yeah.
it's all good. Let it have people like that in our lives to just
Absolutely.
really push
That's a
us to the
blessing.
next level.
That's a
That is a blessing.
But if anybody else want to get pushed to this next level,
Yes.
make sure you hit up our Gmail at WOAWpod@gmail so you can join Jazz's seat right here. Even though we would love to have him for the third time, we would love to have you for the first time.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm gonna write
That
that
was
down.
good.
Was
That
it?
was good.
No, but Jazz, thanks for joining us again.
I appreciate
and
y'all.
this is a
Appreciate
great
y'all.
conversation
Appreciate
as
it.
always.
Appreciate it.
So on that note,
Hold on. Jazz, you want to plug anything?
Just follow me at Six Figures Ain't Enough.
And your lady, she writes, right?
Yeah, she's an author. She has her own book, and she's a therapist. And
Where can we find her book at?
she's making her second book. Hold on.
What are the books about?
A memoir. The
Okay.
first one was a memoir about her life. But the second book is going to be more short stories. Give me 1 second.
I'm pretty sure she hit us up to come on the podcast at a point in time. Do you think she would want
Yeah,
to sit in this
she
middle
would want to
seat?
come
Okay.
through.
Okay.
You can follow her at Too Many Tongues on Instagram.
We want y'all to spend money in good places. Like,
Things that are worth it.
yeah.
And you could catch her book at www.toomanytongues.com. I'm sorry.
We gonna get her on. We're off in July, but we'll be back in August, September. We're gonna
October,
finish out
November
the year
to your
strong.
December. I'm sorry.
Yes, so we're-
sorry. 2020.
No.
No, my bad.
Let me finish.
You
So
stuttering.
we're
No,
always
right.
looking for guests. So she sounds like someone we would love
Yeah.
to have on.
She's
And-
gonna get her own business too, therapy practice.
Okay.
So
Love
she's
that.
she's
We
an
need-
excellent
we need
therapist,
that.
man. Yo,
I
she
need a
she can help you,
therapist.
Better
bro.
than betterhelp.com.
I need a therapist.
Way better, bro. I'm not even joking.
I had one female black therapist.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 3 years ago. It was on Zoom, and I might have said this story before. It was supposed to be an hour. It was 20 minutes.
Mhm.
She was cutting me off, rolling her eyes. Like, it was the worst experience
Maybe
ever.
that's what you think.
No.
Nah, that's
But
not
I'm
gonna
gonna
happen.
I'm honestly
No.
going to look
Yeah.
into it once she starts her therapy.
She has a
business.
waiting list.
Damn.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
I'm gonna put my name on it.
I'm not even gassing. Like, she has a waiting
She's good
list.
then. She's great.
Yeah, bro, she's great. She's great. I'm telling you, she'll help you, bro.
He needs help.
With that being said, we outside.
Wow, we outside. We out.